Hello, I'm Scott Reed here at Essen 2012 with Board Game Geek Con. I'm sitting with Anton Torres of Fantasy Flight Games, and he is showing us off the Star Wars X-Wing miniatures game. So, Anton, this looks pretty boss.
Awesome.
I want to know all about this.
Thank you, Scott. Well, X-Wing miniatures game is a tabletop skirmish minis game. It is set in the Star Wars universe that many of us know and love. It is a skirmish miniatures game, which means that the core set includes these 3 ships and a whole host of components and cards, some of which I will not dump on the table,
right,
but will allow you to relive and recreate the epic starfighter battles that are some of the seminal moments throughout all of the films, throughout even the extended novels and comic books and all. The ships are pre-painted and pre-assembled. We've worked incredibly hard to keep not only the details accurate to what Lucas has designed many years ago, but then to retain scale across all of the ships that have been released.
Okay.
So we're very proud of that. Each player will choose a side. This is billed as a 2-player game, but can be played ad hoc with a table full of individuals. So at the office we've played with 6-player games, and everyone has a ship or sometimes a small squadron of ships. It's very flexible, it plays very quickly, and has a great deal of depth without a ton of head-numbing, intricate details. It's very dynamic, it's very fluid.
Okay.
So I'm going to move the asteroids out of the way, because we don't need them. In the game, you play on a tabletop, so it is a true miniatures game. But movement is, your measuring of movement is done with the included templates. So if you're an old school minis gamer, you don't need the tape measure. These will be very comfortable. If you're brand new to tabletop minis, you're going to jump in and not have any problem whatsoever. Every turn, or at the top of every round, players are going to have the opportunity. Would you like to be?
Yeah. I'm the Empire over here.
You want to be Luke, or you want to?
No. Who wants to be a hero these days?
There you go. So, at the top of every round, players are going to take these dials. Each dial is unique to a class of ship. So X-Wings and TIE Fighters have different dials. This dial is the maneuver dial, and if you spin through the options, you see numbers, colors, and lines.
Colors and lines. Yeah. Right? I got it.
I'm going to put one.
Okay, I'm just trying to get you. Yeah, I think I got that.
All of the numbers. The numbers are your speeds. So the shorter numbers, longer numbers. You move the speed 1 to speed 5, and then the degree of turn.
Yep.
So, if you have a tight turn or a shallow bank.
Right.
Okay. So you select your maneuvers. You place them face down near your ship, and everyone does that simultaneously.
Yep.
And then we look at our cards.
Oh.
So these aren't anonymous TIE fighters.
Right.
One is a pilot whose name is Dark Curse.
Gotcha.
And then Mauler Mythal.
Okay.
Some of you might recognize. There's an orange number. The number and the stats are also printed on the tokens.
Okay.
So once you know how to play, you're going to be using the tokens primarily.
Sure.
That is the pilot skill. And at the top of every round, we will move in pilot skill order from the lowest pilot skill to
the highest pilot skill.
So what do you have? I have an
you have
8.
You have an 8. I have a 7 and a 6. So you're top of that.
So low to high.
Low to high. Okay.
So movement. So here's the round. At the first step, we all select our maneuvers. We place them next to the ships. Second step, we each are going to activate, which means we're going to move.
All right.
So go ahead.
So I did one on I did a hard turn on one.
Short turn.
Which I now see, my spatial reasoning is off. I do not know where I'm going.
Okay, fantastic.
And I did the steps, which
That's perfect.
That you lay it down, you hold it in place, and you move the miniature to the end of it.
There are dimples on the front and back to help you move accurately. Yeah. So that's that. Now you also then would place. You have the option to take an action.
Okay.
And an action is the second layer in this game that gives you a ton of options and flexibility.
Right.
An action allows you to prepare. If you think you're going to be attacked, you can play an evade action, and that is sits next to your ship until the combat phase. If you're not quite sure what is going to happen, you might choose a focus action, which means that pilot is preparing to either attack or defend.
Sure.
At a later time. In addition, the TIE Fighters
have the loop-the-loop.
Have the loop-the-loop. those are the 3 actions. That is the barrel roll. So
All right.
if you were to barrel roll, you would do this now.
Uh-huh.
You take the smallest template, which is a single template, a 1, and you place it either on the right or left.
Oh,
and
sneaky.
then you pick up.
Now,
And
had I but known this, this is what I would have planned to do.
this is a learning game. And then you're obligated, I think,
Yes.
to make this like,
Yeah.
right? And you fly, and you place it on to the other side.
I think that's the expansion, is a little sound box that you can do all the, yeah.
So, that would be a barrel roll.
Yes,
And that would
okay.
be your action. Okay, so that allows you to put someone in your firing lane and move out. So
Right.
who's the next highest pilot? I have an 8.
Next highest is, I've got a 7.
7, so go
Right,
ahead
so
and
7,
reveal.
and he was taking a 2 with a light turn.
A 2 bank right, so
And
awesome. All right, and then I will reveal with an 8, and I'm gonna bank left,
okay,
and I've got a shallow. So in this case, Luke must have been staring off into space finally, right? And I would collide.
okay,
In this game, we assume that pilots are skilled enough not to ram into each other, but
Right.
there are penalties. In this
Okay.
case, I'm now touching that base, and I cannot take an action.
okay.
Okay, so you now have the benefits at this moment. You did the barrel roll. What action would you have taken there?
I perhaps would have prepared to fire.
Okay, so of the 2,
Yeah, I would have
you would focus.
focus.
Okay, so first step again, bees come out, get placed next to ships. Second step, we each activate.
Okay,
Third part is combat.
all right.
All right, combat is executed from the highest
Highest
pilot skill to
To
the
the
lowest.
lowest. Gotcha.
So the better pilots are going to move last and fire first.
Nice.
That gives you a great advantage most of the time. So unfortunately, because you flew right into because I'm not a very good pilot,
Yeah, I know.
obviously.
But I flew into your cone of fire.
You flew into the crown of fire, so I'm going to roll back time.
Uh-huh.
At this point, let's say this is where I ended up. There was a range ruler. Of course, use the appropriate side.
Nice, green and red.
The range ruler is how I measure distance to a target, and if
Okay.
it's outside of a range, I cannot fire at all.
All right.
If I fire in range 1, the attacker gets the bonus.
Okay.
If I'm firing way out in range 3, the defender gets the bonus.
Okay.
And in range band 2, it's a wash. There are custom dice in the game,
Okay.
and the custom dice and the ones that you use match the colored numbers.
All right.
Attackers use red dice, defenders
Defenders
will use the green agility dice. So I will attack, I look at my
Your-
value, which is 3.
Right. And I have a defense value of 3.
You have a
Oh, no,
defense-
sorry. Same thing.
Right. Of
Because
3.
I'm presuming you're attacking him because
Yes,
he's
I
out of
am.
your range. So
in the front, there's actually a firing arc that's
Right.
described, and I have to only attack someone that's in arc. So, attacker would roll.
Okay.
So I roll. This is a miss.
okay.
That's a hit and a critical hit.
All right.
So now you will
see if I-
try.
And
Right? And that is exactly what you're trying to roll.
Okay.
And these cancel each other out.
Okay.
Just as the evade token would cancel 1.
okay. The evade. Okay, that's what the evade token does for me. Is it counts as automatically as 1.
Absolutely.
Wonderful.
Okay, so you're weaving and dodging.
Sure. Sure.
So these
Okay.
would cancel.
Right.
So now the next lowest.
Next lowest is him again, number 7. We're switching dice.
Great. What is your attack value?
My attack value is 2.
2. You have a red 2. My defense is 2.
Okay.
Now, you're in range band.
Range
Measure
band?
the range
Right.
band. You're in
Mhm.
range band what?
Right. I'm in range band 1.
So the attacker gets the bonus.
Right.
That means you get the extra die.
Oh, okay.
So that's simple. You don't look up charts or anything. There's no numbers to remember. So
Okay.
go ahead and roll.
And I had a hit.
Awesome. I will then roll my defense dice,
And
and that would cancel.
yep.
Now, you notice that focus icon
Yes.
is on this dice. It is also on the attack dice.
Okay.
So we'll reroll.
I see.
We'll rewind time a moment, and I'll tell you how this comes into play. All right. Let's say that's what you had rolled.
Right.
Okay. You can choose at this time to spend your focus to convert all of your focus icons to a hit.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Okay. Now you won't be able to use this to defense later in the turn. But,
Naturally.
so that would convert that to a hit.
Okay.
And this, I had rolled an evade and a focus. I did not take a focus action because I was penalized, right?
Right.
I was dodging your ship. So that cancels 1 hit. And this would cause a damage.
Okay.
And so my ship, the ships all have, hull points are yellow,
Okay.
shields are blue.
Gotcha.
So I would then, I have 3 hull, but I have 2
2
shields, of course, and I have my 2 tokens. I would lose a token.
Okay.
Okay, the game plays very fast, and that is then it would be this. Let's take it. now that you know,
Right.
are you going to attack?
Yes.
Are you in range and in arc?
I am. You are within the arc, and you are a. Now, do I measure it from the front of the tile or from
The closest part of the base to the closest part of the base.
Okay, so you are within the 1.
Absolutely.
Quite a bit.
So you get the bonus.
Okay.
I will
So
roll
I
my
get
two
the
defense.
additional die. Yep. And a hit and a look, but I did not use a focus action for him, so I have 1 hit.
Hit and a focus,
and
and
you
in this
evade.
case, I evade. Luke is a pretty good pilot. So then it would be the start of the turn. Everyone would then reset, choose new maneuvers.
Okay.
Now, the game is filled with theme. So that's just vanilla. That's just the basic structure. In the box, there are obstacles. So of course there are asteroids. Asteroids present some problems if you fly past them.
Okay.
There is a threat, you might incur some damage. If you target past an asteroid, they kind of block line of sight. So there's very simple elements that come into play. On the dice also, the attack dice have that symbol.
Critical hit.
Right, which is different. The critical hit. The critical hits are incredibly thematic cards. So this is a damage card. I would place this, let's say I lost my, say my shields are gone and you did a point of damage, I would place that next to my card to show that I took a
critical
point
hit.
of damage.
Right.
If I took a critical hit,
Oh, so you took a point of damage.
that's a normal point. I would flip this.
Flip it. Oh.
And the cards then introduce all kinds of thematic moments. So I might have a console flyer, and suddenly there's something else I need to deal with. I might be blinded for a turn. My pilot skill is dropped to 0 just for the next turn. And so altogether, this becomes the experience of flying starships through space in the middle of a Star Wars movie.
Interesting.
And that is it in a nutshell.
Okay.
The game includes pilot cards for other Biggs Darklighter. There's a red pilot. There's all sorts of unnamed and named pilots on both sides. There's a rookie X-wing. There's a rookie Obsidian Squad pilot. So you would build a force.
Yeah. Sorry.
Sure.
Put those into the Zoom.
Got it. These are in German, and of course, we publish this in many languages. So, for a quick play right out of the box at $39.95, you get all of this content and scenarios in the book. When people expand and grow beyond this, we also have a Y-Wing and we have a TIE Advance. So Darth Vader, of course, is in the TIE Advance.
Yeah.
And again, even more pilots, even more cards. In addition, there are upgrade cards, there are skill cards, there's R2-D2. There are items that you can put on ships if they have a particular icon. That means they have slots, essentially, for those upgrades. So a player, an individual playing this, can choose exactly what type of pilot they want to be. You know, you can be a rookie who's got an R2 unit and just a really good sense in combat, a marksman, he's a marksman, or you can play these classic heroes and villains in the game. All right? So that's a quick summary. One fun thing is, for each class of ship, the maneuver dials are completely different.
Oh, really?
So an X-Wing actually handles differently than a TIE fighter.
Okay.
The highest speed that I can move is going to be different. You may move at 5, I can only move at 4.
Aha, yes, I can move at 5.
In addition, the turn radiuses that are available to each ship are going to be different.
Right.
So it allows us, again, without looking up at charts or anything, all the game information is at hand. You're not going to be referring to charts.
Right.
Even more, you see the red and green and white colors of the maneuvers?
Yes.
You can execute a maneuver called a Koigenen turn. It's essentially a loop-de-loop. I'm going to leave it there. Any red maneuver means that you will place a stress token next to your ship. It means you're pushing your ship's, your pilot skill and your ship to the limit.
Right.
And that has a penalty. So you can no longer take actions, nor can you take red maneuvers in the future. So if you're going to push your ship to spin around to try to get a beat on an enemy, there's a cost.
Okay.
And then eventually you have to cool your ship down with a green maneuver later.
All right.
To then return to a sense of normalcy and sort of get your groove on.
Gotcha.
right.
I follow. Oh, nice.
Do you have any questions about? I mean,
no, it all looks pretty straightforward. I've played Wings of War before, and it comes from a similar base of
it's
system.
another dogfighting game, right?
Yeah.
This it has a 2-page starter set of rules. We've had children playing. We were demoing at Gen Con, at XCon, at Gen Con, and at Star Wars Celebration, and literally had families coming down to play. Children 6, 7, 8 years old, not a problem at all. Even starting with the starter rules, and then you start to add the additions with obstacles and the upgrade cards. So, now coming in December, we're going to see the Wave 2 ships. We've got 4 ships that were announced, and can I show them to you?
Yes, I'd love to see them.
May I? No? I can't show them.
Kidding.
I can't. I just can't. But I will. I will show them. You just watch. All right. So, Wave 2. Now we have TIE Fighters, X-Wings, Y-Wings, which are horrific if you're an Empire player, and TIE Advanced. Next up, we will have...
Oh, hold on just 1 second. They're going to make an announcement. It overrides the microphones. Except when you get a quiet announcement.
Okay. Right. Are we live?
Yeah, we're still broadcasting. Just, yeah. Okay, as we were.
All right.
All right, so
Wave 2 will bring the A-Wing
now.
and the TIE Interceptor.
Okay.
Very nimble, very fast. They will also bring the Slave 1. Fire spray. Okay. So would mount on the stand like that. And of course, we'll also bring the Millennium Falcon. Now, everything that we have released is in scale to each other.
Right.
And when people have already responded like mad to the core Wave 1 ships. And I can't wait to see, when we were talking about it at work all the time, is to see huge squadrons of A-Wings and TIE Interceptors and Y-Wings, and then of course the Millennium Falcon.
Right.
And there are some pilots that have known, there's some people that we know that have flown the Millennium Falcon that it's going to be very exciting to watch and play.
Yeah.
But it's been a blast, for us to
So
bring this to life.
So this also begs the natural question.
Yes.
At what point will I be able to buy an Imperial Star Destroyer that's as large as this table?
Well, I'll tell you, I don't know many retailers that want an 18-foot, an 18-wheeler truck to come and park it in front of their store. But, we're just getting started.
Right.
I mean, we obviously are hard at work on all kinds of amazing things. Wave 2 is going to come in December, right, with a U.S. release, and releasing all over. So, keep watching. We love the game, and people seem to love the game. So if you like Star Wars, if you love Star Wars, you love dogfighting games, try it out. It's remarkable,
this looks great. Like
accessible, and have a blast.
Fantastic.
Anything else?
I don't think. Do we have any more questions from the group?
No questions?
No.
All right. We didn't talk about target locks, but that's okay, because I'm an Empire player. I don't like target locks. Pain in my neck. Yeah. Y-Wings with the ion cannon. They're tanks. They're slow.
Right.
And they fire in 360-degree arc.
Oh.
So you have these slow tanks that have 5 hull and 3 shields.
Okay.
It's like, what do I do about that? And it's a blast. And minis gamers as well. It's giving all kinds. It's one of the most accessible miniatures games I've ever seen. It hits a lot of levels, and it's still got a lot of choices and a lot of layers for gamers to really play with. So
good, wonderful.
All right, we good? Thank you very much.
Thank you much, Anton.
Thank you very much.
Really appreciate it.
Take care. You guys have a great rest of the spiel.
Yes. Yeah. In half an hour they'll say, "Oh wait, Anton, what about?" And then 10 minutes after that they'll see us say, "Oh, it's lagged." Oh, for crap.
All these questions here.
Oh, we're putting away. I guess we can grab a couple. Is there a playmat?
So at this time, we do not have a playmat available. We have nothing announced. However, as always, keep watching the website, and we'll announce what we have the moment we can share it with you.
Okay.
Only the original trilogy. What's your plans for the
We said expanded universe. Yeah.
Well,
and no Jar Jar?
Only as a target.
So at the moment, this is the extent of what we have announced, and I can tell you that we are working on more. So it is a huge universe to explore. I mean, it's a huge universe to explore, and we're thrilled
Also, Aldi, you're not mic'd. All right,
to be able to explore it.
Yeah. Aldi says read between the lines on that.
Yeah,
he
at this
answers
time,
playmat. Yeah.
at this time, we don't have a playmat
Yeah.
to announce.
What's a data pack?
A data pack is for a different game. That is for Netrunner. Data packs are coming very soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Han. I don't even know why that was ever a question.
That's not a question. Yeah.
Oh, don't try to take the sticker up.
Yeah. I would. It is arriving in stores very soon. Yeah.
Yeah. Anything you can say about Merchant of Venus?
Yes, it is. It is on its way into your hands. It will arrive very soon, and you'll see an announcement on our website the moment we expect it to hit retail. And I'm talking like very near future, and we're thrilled with it. So,
Okay.
Yeah, it's coming.
Has George Lucas played this?
Unfortunately, I don't know that he has.
But you can't confirm that he hasn't.
Well, but I can confirm that he should, because I think he'd have a blast. I think it captures the spirit.
Yeah.
I mean,
I agree.
In all honesty, accessible. Even George would.
Someone was asking about a Death Star.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, if
Probably just do like the side of a Death Star like this game.
Well,
Maybe just like a line, maybe like a
you have a
what we have done actually for demonstrations.
so just for clarity, so this is a question about the Death Star. But
Yeah.
anyway,
I don't know exactly, but any question that involves a Death Star, what we've done is we've produced a demo table, and there's actually one here that Heidelberger is displaying because they're our German partner. So they agreed to show this and demo the game on the table. It's we built a section of the Death Star, but I've seen people online doing incredible things. I mean, the fans are running away with this as a tool set to just tell Star Wars stories. So I don't think we'll ever ship a Death Star.
yeah, or
I'm
you
going
know,
on a limb. I'm going on a limb.
you just have a sort of a curved flat piece that represents one very small section of the Death Star.
And if we did, it would destroy everything in its path.
Is there going to be an Elder Sign expansion?
Will there be an Elder Sign expansion?
Elder Sign, the Arkham Horror themed dice rolling game. We have nothing to announce at this time. Keep your eyes on the website. We have announced though. Well, to be fair, we have announced expansions for the iOS version of Elder Sign. It's on Android and iOS, and we've had a couple of expansions now in all sorts of new territory. So we love the game, people love the game.
Good.
Read between the lines. What is that?
I wait 1 minute and like boom, a page. Like,
Yeah.
text.
I never even started the timer. Not that it matters.
I didn't know. I thought.
As I said, you
thought time had
you had
stopped.
plenty of time.
AT&T's had snow speakers.
Oh, they want
All right.
they want to
Fun to
do
research.
land fights.
I'm sure
I
nobody
appreciate
wants that.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Off.
Yeah. On the question of AT-ATs and land speeders,
Yeah.
they're thinking about it. Maybe.
It's all.
I mean,
We
you can all go crazy on this.
we
Yes.
do to produce card games, role playing games, miniatures games. We have Star Wars the role playing game coming.
Okay.
That will release early next year. There was a beta release at Gen Con that we actually printed and have sold, but the actual 400 plus pages final book will be released next year. By the end of this year, our goal is to have the beginner box, the Star Wars beginner box in your hand, which is a trimmed down rule set and components that will allow someone who may be new to role playing or someone who loves role playing and wants to get started with an intro scenario and adventure to jump into the role playing game. And then we have Star Wars the card game, which will be released by the end of the year as well. And that is a head-to-head, light side, dark side, living card game. So there will be continued expansions month after month. And that is very exciting. If you were at Gen Con and you had a chance to play it, it's a complete redesign from a year prior.
Okay.
We had a different version. This is much truer to the spirit. We're thrilled with it, and it's got a lot of unique elements. So as far as X-Wing, we've just released Wave 1.
Right.
I mean, we can't keep it in stock, and people are responding very positively. Wave 2 is going to be a huge bump. That's very exciting, and more will come. Absolutely. No Death Star.
That might be a good time to
Yeah.
All right?
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you much, Anton.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure.
All right, man.